An Oregon man is in jail in Connecticut charged with allegedly stalking and harassing a player on the University of Connecticut women's basketball team. Robert Parmalee of Grants Pass is charged with a breach of peace, electronic stalking, and harassment. According to UConn's communications team, they got concerning emails in June and July from Parmalee containing, quote, rambling comments that he's a member of the royal family, a sperm donor, wanted to marry UConn player Paige Bueckers, and have children with every white woman alive. His social media posts contained dozens of references to Bueckers, including a post of a fake wedding invitation and photos of Parmalee with what appears to be a diamond engagement ring. Officials say at the end of August, he flew into Bradley International Airport in Connecticut and was spotted nearly getting hit by cars on a highway nearby. Police say that Parmalee is wanted in Oregon on an arson charge, accused of trying to burn down a home with his roommate inside. Parmalee is being held on $100,000 bond in order to stay away from Bueckers and the town of Mansfield.